Get your ass to Mars.
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 Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary.
The year is 3013. The galaxy is scintillating in the mellow light. Two galactic pilgrims seek out vistas in the samurai future to bring forth the unity of the cosmic shaman. Opening the door of the pantheon of mystics, the evil sorcerer wizard powers the engine of science, seeking to forever alter the sacred balance, traveling on effervescent balls of summer fire.
This week's Total Recall.
In the year 1990, Schwarzenegger was riding high, and his biggest fan was about to be born.
You were a little late, though. This movie was June.
Yep, and I was born September 11th.
Yep.
My 11th birthday sucked. None of my cartoons were on. No one gave a shit about my presents.
You got VHS cartoons.
Yeah, but my parents wanted the news on.
Oh, all right, okay. That's kind of understandable, I suppose.
Lame, though.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Matt.
This is Luke.
And this is Schwarzenegger.
Welcome to our Sci-Fi Sanctuary.
Yeah, it's Total Recall today. I think this is prime. This is it. This is the Schwarzenegger film in the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, everything between Terminator and Terminator 2, right?
Yeah.
He was just king of the world in that, 10-year period.
Yeah, but Commando's a little smaller scale. The Running Man's a little smaller scale. Terminator 2's PG-13, right? And he shoots people in the knees. So.
It was 15 when it came out.
Yeah. Here he just uses a dude as a shield.
He does cut his own skin off his arm in Terminator 2. It's not completely bloodless.
Yeah, but this is insane. This is the other big star, of course, would be the director, Paul Verhoven, who's just an absolute madman. Yeah. At least he was for his main run of films.
Is this the only one where these two work together?
I think so. The big Verhoeven run, because he was a Dutch, is it? Dutch?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Dutch filmmaker, made movies in the land of the Dutch.
Holland.
Yeah. I didn't know if I should say Netherlands or Holland. I thought the land of the Dutch was a nice compromise.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So he came to the States. I think a lot of people listening to this can probably just spout out Verhoeven's run. But what do we got? We got RoboCop, this, Basic Instinct, Showgirls, Starship Troopers. That's a perfect resume. And then the Hollow Man. That's not a perfect resume, but whatever.
I remember his big CG dong.
Yeah. If you've made 5 perfect movies, you can make a few crap ones. Right. So this was, 11-year-old Matt stumbling into his first R-rated film. So by this point, my dad was like, screw it, because I kept going across the street to previous guest Andrews and watching slasher films. So it just didn't matter at that point.
Whereas I, of course, grew up just watching constant, Schwarzenegger films, 18 rated. It was my childhood, right? But this is the one that was not in my circulation of Schwarzenegger films.
Really?
I definitely watched it once, but I think this is the one that was a step too far for me. Because the eyeball bulging stuff is my one memory of seeing this as a kid. And it freaking my nut out. So
yeah, well, the using the human shield and all that is pretty rawly violent,
Yeah, but Schwarzenegger killing bad guys, I was fine with, right?
No, of course,
including random civilians who happened to get in the way of him killing the bad guys.
Right. It's just
but that particular little bit of gross body horror was just I don't like that. So this one was not one that I watched regularly.
Oh, I see. I'm the one that doesn't even like body horror, but it doesn't bother me so much. In this
you
one.
weren't 3.
Okay, yes, good point.
It doesn't bother me now. It bothered me when I was 3 and I used to watch Commando and Terminator 2 on a daily basis.
So you probably don't remember watching this the first time.
Again, I just remember those 2 bits, yeah.
Except for the eye bulging. Okay.
After that, I don't remember watching it till I was in my teens and I just bought up the entire Schwarzenegger filmography on DVD.
Yeah, I had this on. Did you have the DVD where it was like in a little tin can shaped like Mars?
No, I don't think so. I had a supermarket copy that was like 99p or something.
Yeah, that was pretty hip. I still have the DVD, but the tin is, I guess, in America. I need my Mars tin. I should have kept that. Oh well.
Anyway, I just searched Paul Verhoeven. I don't know what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, that list of films. I mean, that's what more is there to say?
Oh yeah, it's like you said, it's phenomenal. Starship Troopers and RoboCop are very high on the list.
Yes.
Films we would cover.
I guess, I'm still trying to convince you that we can make Showgirls work somehow.
Nah, it's 2020. You can look at boobs without having to force a film onto the podcast.
Yeah, but you can't act that hard. We'll get to that one somehow. Start on a cheat month or something.
Oh, right, yeah. I think that's how Paul Verhoeven came up. It's just that we talked Showgirls during Batman and Robin, and I didn't know he'd directed that.
Yeah. So, no, that's everyone in that movie is acting as hard as they can. And the dialogue is just ridiculous. But we're not really here to talk about Showgirls. We're here to talk about Total Recall for this particular day.
Matt, can you recall the events of this film?
I recall nothing. Wait, no, I wrote out a plot. Okay, let me get to that. Douglas Quaid is just your average American everyman in the year 2048. He has a construction job and beautiful wife. He decides it's time to spice up his life with Recall, a company that implants vacation memories. Quaid plugs into the MK Ultra machine and takes a trip towards the blue skies on Mars. But all of this is interrupted when Quaid has a psychotic reaction in the process and is scuttled out of Recall. Soon his wife, his work buddy, and a cadre of assassins led by Party Richter are out to kill him. It turns out that Quaid himself is an implant. He is really Hauser, an undercover agent with potentially world-changing information about Mars. So Quaid gets his ass to Mars with Richter in interplanetary pursuit. Though staying in the Mars Hilton, Quaid soon finds himself in Venusville, a low-income community populated by the radiation-ravaged workers who built the Mars settlement and their radiation-ravaged offspring. Quaid meets Milena, who remembers Hauser. It turns out Hauser was the right-hand man of Mars despot Cohagen, who is both Hauser and Richter's boss. After a rocky reunion, Quaid is confronted by a doctor and his wife claiming that Quaid is really still in the recall chair having psychotic delusions. Quaid responds to a bead of sweat on the doc's brow by shooting him right between the eyes and getting a divorce. With the help of Benny, a mutated cab driver, Quaid reunites with Milena and the trio meets Kuato, the leader of the Mars Resistance and a psychic mutant who can access the Mars secrets stored in Quaid's head. But this is all interrupted as Benny turns out to be a turncoat mole who has brought Cohagen's police directly to the rebel lair. Cohagen tries to strap Quaid and Milena in recall chairs to bring back Hauser and make Milena his submissive woman. But somehow Everyman Quaid finds the power to break free of the chair and murder the scientist trying to replace his identity. Fortunately, the experience with Quato has allowed Quaid to remember a secret, buried, ancient Martian machine resting under the Pyramid Mine. Milena and Quaid make their way to the installation. There's a battle with Richter that ends with his arms being torn off and falling to his doom. See you at the party, Richter! Quaid is about to turn on the Martian machine when Cohagen strikes. Cohagen's wild gunfire breaks open one of the airlocks, sucking him and then Milena and Quaid to their bug-eyed doom in the Martian atmosphere. While Cohagen's head explodes, Quaid managed to turn on the machine before being sucked out, and as the machine is pumping out breathable atmosphere, Quaid and Milena survive to enjoy the blue skies on Mars.
you know who was the voice of the cab?
Who, got it on the tip of my brain, got it type of my brain. Emergency medical hologram.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's in my notes, actually, which I haven't handed you yet. I probably should have done that. But yeah. He's Robert Picardo, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I did note that. Because I think when Voyager was first starting, that was like his main claim to fame. It was like, oh, he was the guy that did the voice of the cab driver in Total Recall. But come on, this film only has one actor, right? No, it has several actors. Okay.
Got a few, yeah.
But
on Google it said Bill Nye was in it, but now that I'm looking at the full cast list, I can't see him. I don't think he is.
Do you want to go straight to the Schwartz?
We got to start with the Schwartz.
Okay,
Yeah.
we already did a little bit of the Schwartz, so like I said, for me, this is his the movie that you would inscribe on his gravestone, even though you say he can't die. But
Well, his autobiography is called Total Recall
as well, it should be.
because it's him recalling his life.
Yeah, it makes sense. We know Schwarzenegger is very good at describing the obvious.
Yeah. It's a good read until the last chapter. Because his autobiography came out just after all the business with him sleeping with the maid and his wife leaving him. And the last chapter is just like a really pathetic bit where he begs his wife to come back.
Oh my.
And you're reading it just like, it's not happening, Arnie. It's not happening, mate. You're Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's plenty more fish in the sea when you're Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So when you read the book, it's just his voice the whole time in your head,
Oh,
right?
God, yeah.
Of course. I mean,
But, like, it's not like Total Recall, he can barely make words, Schwarzenegger. It's like modern political Schwarzenegger's voice.
yeah,
Because it's well written.
the
so
one
it's
that
like-
needs to make speeches. Probably well ghost written, but
Oh, I'm sure. But I can believe that he did write write it quite well.
He's
'cause-
a smart. I mean, I'm just assuming that he's too busy to write a book.
not at this point, he wasn't.
Okay. Do you want what's the best Schwartz performance? I am actually going to go with
Performance. Ooh.
this one. I'm going to go with this one.
Um.
For the public image of Schwarzenegger,
Right.
for the full-on McBain Schwarzenegger.
I was good. The other one is just him playing the Terminator
Yeah.
because I think he is very good at that.
Well, he's very subtle. Like
Right.
that, right. Whereas
This is him just over the top schwartzing it.
Yeah.
And the bits where he's like talking to himself, playing two roles. Like he does actually play two characters in this, and they are distinct-ish. So, yeah, this might be the top one.
yeah.
Well, it's either this or it's Batman and Robin.
So
Just a stupid pun,
Right.
Schwarzenegger.
we talked about that. I'm going to choose this one.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone did come back to work with Verhoeven because she did Basic Instinct after this. She's not really into that much when you get right down to it. I guess she was not. I guess Basic Instinct's what made her a star, so she's just here.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, I mostly just remember her as like a plot device rather than a character.
Yeah, she's just. I guess since she's an A-list actor, we have to bring her up.
While we're on the Schwartz and I guess his like marriage with her and stuff, this film plays as a plot point what most Schwarzenegger films try and ignore, which is that he doesn't look like he should just exist in day-to-day life, right?
Yeah.
When he's just like a regular schlub working on a construction site, doesn't compute because he's a freaking giant.
It's like that comic
Mountain Man.
run where Thor tries to just get a job working at a construction site.
Right.
And it's like, it doesn't work out. Like he ends up fighting a big dragon and then 5 years later comes back to work. No, it's in the comics. Like, oh yeah, I remember you. Oh, you're back.
That's pretty good.
It's ridiculous. Because in the meantime, he went on like a, giant arc in Asgard between his shifts at the construction site.
That's pretty good.
Which would work with Quaid, I guess.
But yeah, when you get to like the sort of the 2000 stuff, like Collateral and whatever, where he is meant to be playing average Joes, Schwarzenegger can't play an average Joe because he's Schwarzenegger.
Collateral Damage.
Yes, Collateral's the Tom Cruise one.
I'm sitting here like, he's not in that. Okay.
Right.
I think I've never seen Collateral Damage.
Is that?
Okay. I guess I don't need
That
to.
is the run of like the worst Schwarzenegger films, but I still enjoy them.
Yeah.
Like Sixth Day, End of Days.
I like End of Days, Sixth Day.
I like both of those.
Yeah.
But,
I like Eraser.
But they're
okay.
not like top tier, right?
No, Eraser is like, I just watched Commando, so now I'm going to watch Eraser.
I guess, is True Lies the end of peak Schwarzenegger?
Probably.
Because at that point, he's fully self-parody, right?
Yeah, because after that's Batman Robin, where he's
Right.
kind of
When were the straight up comedies like the Kindergarten Cop and the?
They would come between movies. I think Twins was actually 89. I think it was before this. Yeah. And then Junior was maybe Kindergarten Cop was between, but no, he did, like, when Pete Schwarzenegger, he was jingling all the way while he was also still being the Terminator.
Okay. Although, one of my all-time most regrettable It Never Happened movies is Triplets. Did you ever hear about that?
Go on.
Basically, since Twins happened, Danny DeVito, Schwarzenegger, and Eddie Murphy were talking about the sequel Triplets.
Okay, I was just holding my breath to hear who the third one was.
Wouldn't that have been the best film ever?
Yeah. I remember liking Twins quite well. I haven't seen it for a very long time.
I do like all the dumb Schwarzenegger comedies, which often get maligned.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen dumb Schwarzenegger comedies since they were in the theater. I'm going to have to go through a dumb Schwarzenegger comedy film festival sometime.
A lot of them do have a slight sci-fi edge, so we could squeeze them in there once we run out of serious
I remember hating Junior, though.
Yeah.
I remember loving
Junior
Twins.
might be the worst of them, but still.
Okay.
It's fun to make the fun of, right?
Jingle All the Way for Christmas. There we go.
You know I'm all the way up for Jingle All the Way. I love that film.
And I've never seen it.
That was the first Schwarzenegger I saw in theaters.
Okay.
Because I was old enough to.
I guess this was the first Schwarzenegger I saw in theaters. I'm trying to think if I would have seen... No, actually, Twins probably was. Weirdly enough. But, yeah. There are other actors here. Sharon Stone's just in a little bit, but Ronnie Cox and Michael Ironside. Michael Ironside. There's some winners.
See, I feel like you're more of a Michael Ironside fan, but I would say I'm more of a Ronnie Cox fan.
Man, it's hard to pick and choose, really. When I saw Terminator Salvation, actually with Mark, our guest, it's either just before or just after this episode. I'm not quite sure. But, we went to see Salvation, and I remember trying to convince him walking out of the theater that, no, it had to be good because Michael Ironside's in it. Yeah. Even though he's only in it for like 20 seconds.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not a good movie. But he's good here. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
I just like screaming, "See you at the party, Richter. See you at the party, Richter."
It's a good one. See, for me, this film isn't one for Schwarzenegger lines. It's Schwarzenegger's sound.
Consider this the boss.
Just...
that too. Oh, screaming in the chair. I mean, his eyes...
an animal for this film.
His eyes are like popping out there for real, not like his effects later. But, Ronnie Cox is like the best 80s villain ever.
Yeah. Even when he's a good guy, he's a villain.
Yeah.
Like Beverly Hills Cop, Star Trek. He's not ostensibly a villain in those, but you still kind of hate him.
I've heard reasonable arguments for Captain Ronnie Cox being a good captain. He's just like a little bit of a hard ass, you know?
Yeah. The episode doesn't make him out to be like wrong for being that way.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's got a job to do when he's doing it, sort of thing.
Right. And if you wanted to,
the Jericho. I just recently watched those episodes, so they're very. In fact, I remember I watched this film for the podcast a couple of weeks back because events transpired and we couldn't get our guest on. But the very next day, I watched that two-part of Star Trek, Chain of Command. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, it's him.
Yeah. But it's because you saw him in RoboCop, and you saw him here, and he was so evil, you can't trust that guy.
Right. I'm sure that's why they cast him in that role, right?
Michael Ironside is the perfect henchman.
Yeah. He can never be the main villain.
No, he doesn't make sense as the main villain, but yeah. So it's not. I don't think it's necessary. I prefer one. I just like screaming out that one quote.
Right. But see, until I looked up the cast of the film, I couldn't have told you Michael Ironside's name.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Whereas Cox, because he's in so many films I love.
Come on, just...
Although, even I don't think I know his name. I'm just like, oh, that guy.
These are names... Cohen, you got to file these names. Michael Ironside, Ronnie Cox.
I think it's because I always get him confused with Jeremy Irons.
I can see that. He makes a good villain, too.
Yeah, including in real life.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, big old homophobe.
Oh, okay.
There's a great clip where he's like, but could a father not marry his son? Oh, well, that would be incest. But it's not incest between men.
Yes, it is. There's a few bit roles. The guy who plays Benny, I recognize him, but I actually don't. You want
Dean Norris. He's in... Oh, sorry, wrong character. Mel Johnson Jr. plays Benny.
Oh, okay.
He's from Fresh Prince, Star Trek.
Well, I guess I saw him there.
Jessica Jones. Yeah, he has bit roles.
Okay, he's a recognizable face, and
Yeah, he's got a big old career of minor roles. So,
but I think he's quite. I mean, it's not a big role, but he's pretty effective here. It's a good little character part.
well, yeah, and it's you never suspect the comedy black sidekick to be the one who betrays you. So, right?
And then it's like a double twist. It's like, I'm a mutant. You can trust me even more. Oh, no, you can't. I'm a dick.
Yep.
While you have it out, Milena is played by.
Rachel Ticotin.
Any other hits for her? I don't feel like...
Con Air. Falling Down. Yeah, again,
just
minor roles
stuff.
here and there.
Okay. Now, in the way Benny stands out, and Sharon Stone stands out in her bit part, she doesn't...
No, it's only chance that she went on to be a bigger actress than she was here.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone.
Right. Whereas Milena's just kind of there. So, I again, I don't know if it's just because there's Sharon Stone, or because she's doing a good job here. She's certainly not doing a bad job.
I don't think anyone does a bad job here.
No, everyone's good. So, like me saying Milena is not like memorable as the other roles is because we have like way larger than life characters in this movie, and she's not bad. She just doesn't stand out.
Right.
Are there any other actors you want to reference?
Oh yeah,
think
I
we
brought him
covered
up
it.
briefly then. Schwarzenegger's friend on the construction site, Tony.
Oh yes, he's the
like the-
character actor. Yeah, you see
Yeah,
him
he's big
everywhere.
role in like Breaking Bad and stuff.
Okay. And I just feel like he's all over TV and probably movie bit parts in around this vintage. Definitely a recognizable face as well.
Yep.
As for characters, who is Douglas Quaid?
Well, popular comedy website / TV series / book it's just called Law of the Playground, and people would just write in stories from like their time at school, right? And there's this one story that always stuck with me, where there was this kid and his brother, and their surname was Quaid, and the kid started bullying him by just constantly calling him Quaid in stupid accents. And the story just goes to his brother, they keep calling me Quaid. It's your name.
But
It's always stuck with me.
in terms of this movie, though, he's really only 6 months old at most.
Yeah, I mean, does he exist at all?
Right.
Right. See, like I said, I don't remember watching this film, but it must have had an effect on me, because many times in my life I've just stopped and thought, I don't know for a fact that anything before this moment happened.
No, you don't. That's what makes it fun.
Well, and I mean, that's very true. Our memories are super fake because your brain just fills in the gaps. It can't record everything.
Speaking of which, part of the fun is you don't really have to come down, but I think for getting into a discussion, we do need to basically put down our foot on which side we are taking from this movie, that he did go to Mars and have this wild adventure, or it is all the implant. I went in my 20s, I would have said implant. Now I'm like, adventure.
Yeah, same. It's more fun that way.
I'm like it's just so much more fun that this guy is on this like ridiculous ultra-violent quest. I mean, come on, Recall needs to tone it down a bit if it's your implant.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. That's not going to be like you wake up, you're like, that was fun. You wake up and you're traumatized for life.
I know, you're going to get PTSD from this vacation. So I am going, even though, in the last shot is certainly, but we're going to talk a bit more about that with Inception. But, there's, in a very unsubtle film, it's a nice touch of subtlety that is never quite clear what's going on in those terms. So I'm going with it happened, and Douglas Quaid is 6 months old. And for Douglas Quaid to survive, he has to murder Hauser, basically. Or at least submerge him. Not that he has any trouble with murdering in this film, so...
Aaron Hauser is a huge dick, so...
There's that too, of course.
That's something I really like, actually, in this film. Hauser and Cox are obviously both assholes, but they are genuinely friends.
Yes.
So it's just nice seeing him, like... He's like, oh, Hauser's an asshole. Hey, he's actually one of my best friends. It's just very real and human. You don't often see that with like 80s and 90s action movie villains.
Maybe that's why I like to see you at the party line so much.
Yeah.
Although Cohagen does give not Hauser, I actually mixed up in my plot.
Oh yeah, I
summary,
just
too.
called him Cox. That's just his real name.
No, Cohagen is Cox,
Cohagen.
right?
Yeah.
And Cohagen's a great name. Hauser, Richter, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I was talking about Hauser.
they're kind of similar in Richter, Hauser.
Cohagen.
That one's a little different.
Yeah,
It
but it's
sounds
just-
more Dutch.
Verhoeven's just brought all of his European names.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I have a weird name.
Yeah, Commodus.
Yeah.
See, I have an uncommon name, but it's very bland.
Right. Yeah, I think mine was it's like German, and it kind of went through the land of the Dutch, and then got like misspelled a bit more once people came to America.
Right.
Yeah. See, it's not offensive I say like the land of the Dutch, because that's like most of my ethnicity.
Yeah, that's how it works. Actually, I'm
Actually.
16th black, so I can say it.
Yeah. Well, the land of the Dutch isn't that
I
incendiary
know.
anyway.
Well, that's the thing. I actually genuinely, I'm never quite sure what I'm meant to call it. Is it Holland? Is it the Netherlands? Is it?
Yeah.
That's why I just say I went to Amsterdam and don't say which country it's in.
And you don't say what you did there. So they're villainous villains, but they're weirdly likable villains.
Yeah.
They're just fun to see on screen. It's what do we talk about where you just truly hate this character a few weeks ago?
Well, we were talking about the Independence Day aliens.
Oh,
There's no enjoying them. You want them to die.
Right.
But yeah, as a Brit, generally, we do kind of side with the villains a lot. You know, there's a reason we play all the villains on TV. It's because we kind of like them. But yeah, there are some where it's like, yeah, I want to see this guy get his comeuppance. And there are some where it's like, you know, I don't not want Schwarzenegger to win, but I'm enjoying the ride.
It's like maybe his arms will come back on and we'll get another scene with him.
Get him with robot arms. That'd be cool.
Come back with yeah.
Oh, Biff is who we were talking about.
Yes.
But yeah, even Biff, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But you do hate him.
Now I think there was someone with a little more extra.
Toe Cutter?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you don't enjoy Toe Cutter.
Fantastic acting. When he's on the screen, you just cringe.
Yeah.
Whereas when
the old meaning of cringe.
when Cox and Ironside are on screen, and when Arnie's in his couple, video turns as villain, it's just fantastic. Man, the copters are coming for us again.
Coming to shut us up for speaking the truth. Maybe this neighborhood has made noise complaints and there actually are here tourists.
You're gonna stick
I think it's an ambulance one.
Sick the copters on us for noise complaints. I like that. It's taking its time. It's an ambulance copter. Definitely taking its time. This film doesn't really do too much for the female roles.
No. There are like two women in it, and
Yeah.
they both exist to fancy Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And I guess they can. Well, I don't think Sharon Stone fancies them for the.
Well,
she's
I mean-
she's his handler.
I don't think she was too upset about having to sleep with Arnold Schwarzenegger every night. So that is a line in the film, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I bet you hated every moment of it.
But yeah,
But they're not. This film's not the worst for female roles of the dumb sci-fi actions we've done.
I guess it's
They are characters.
I guess it's because Melena's so bland compared to his quote wife unquote. But
But she still has some like spark to her.
Yeah, that's true. Again, she's
And
not
like,
bad.
yeah, she actually cares about the mission. She's not just like there because she's Schwarzenegger like they often are in these sort of stories. So
Right, I do going under the athletic, slutty, athletic and slutty for
Oh, yeah.
Arnie.
that's how we like them.
Yeah.
And then there's the girl with 3 boobs.
Yes.
Get your ass to Mars.
I think does that mean I'm not starting the podcast with that anymore?
Well, did you?
I don't know because I haven't edited it yet.
All right. Well, no.
Okay.
When do we start the podcast with the line? We never do that.
This one's gonna have it.
Well, it's not now. Fuck you.
Now I'm just gonna put
Wait,
it in to be spiteful.
what was the podcast where you tried to start every segment with the same line? Was it The Matrix?
It might have been.
There was one where you kept using the same quote on like 3 different segments.
Right. But then I skipped one or two, so
Yeah,
it didn't really
it's like
work.
if you did it on every segment, it works. Or if you do it once, it works. But you do it like twice, it's just lame.
Yeah. There's some design in this movie.
Oh yeah.
When I saw it, actually, it seemed a little clunky and weird, like in that analog way, like they were reaching too far without having the CGI. Now I watch it, I'm like, this is great.
Oh yeah. The mutants look great. Mars looks great.
But when I was 11, it looked a little fakey.
Yeah.
It's gloopy.
Maybe that kind of fits the tone though as well.
It does. It's a tonal thing. It's a Verhoeven thing. I guess,
Right.
This is only like his second well-known film, so I guess people weren't completely... And RoboCop is not that colorful.
No, RoboCop is very gritty and... Well, because the world of RoboCop is mostly not that futuristic. There's like the robots and the capitalism is turned up by like 1 notch on the dial. Otherwise, it's just the world we live in.
Yeah, whereas this is like the hyper-violent version of like Omni magazine, which was a science magazine in the 80s and possibly now too, I don't know.
The skeleton X-ray bit looked really good.
Yeah, that's coming to your airport next week.
But it's already there, right? The one where they can just look at you naked.
So some prescient stuff there. Although air travel does seem a little more certainly compared to June 2020.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was his plan to get through Mars immigration?
Well, to just be in a big lady suit too.
That starts malfunctioning.
I guess if it had worked, it would have been okay.
But once it comes out, and first you get that rubbery another Schwarzenegger head, and then he looks like pretty confident, like that's pretty much what he was expecting to happen, which can't be the case.
Well, he's just Schwarzenegger. He does what he wants. When does Schwarzenegger not look confident?
I think both of us were eating when Quato showed up, and we knew Quato was showing up too.
Yep, he's a little gross.
I was eating gyoza.
I can't remember what I was eating, but I was definitely eating it in the bath.
Watching Total Recall.
Yep.
On the phone? Where's the phone go?
No. The laptop sits on the toilet.
Okay, well now you know how Luke watches these
I
movies.
watched a lot of those movies that way. Yeah, that's what I like to do on a Sunday evening.
Okay, that's cool. Other stuff. So I never really noticed the spaceship until this viewing. I mean, you don't see it much, but someone put some work into that transport ship.
Yeah, I can't picture it. Does it just basically look like an airplane?
Kind of. It's kind of bulky. I just noticed, hey, that's a pretty cool shot of it landing and getting through Mars.
I honestly, I can't even picture the spaceship.
My notes are still in my backpack. I haven't. Why did I even write them? Okay.
Well, the process of writing the notes helps you remember, right?
True. But I wrote them like 2
You're a
weeks
teacher,
ago.
you know this.
I'm kind of winging the recall here. That's how we do it.
This is a film I can recall.
I'm new to the game, man. I'm only 6 months old mentally.
I can believe that. And
Venusville.
say that in a Japanese accent. There is the Venus line. Do you want to tell them about that one?
Yeah. It's a very nice road. We did the Sunra episode there. Goes along the ridge, just beautiful scenery. It's called the Venus line, but once you change that to katakana, the Japanese symbols used for foreign words, it comes out saying Venus line. So Venusville. It's cool though. I don't know. Would you rather hang out the Hilton or Venusville?
I would always rather be on Mars.
The Hilton
Oh,
on
the Hilton
Mars,
on Mars.
or Venusville.
I don't want to be a class traitor, so I'm going to say Venusville.
Yeah, well, it looks like you can party there harder, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
But I guess that's a notable thing. Just the workers are all mutated and screwed up now. We got that with fracking operation stuff, right?
Yeah. Back in the 50s and stuff, loads of people were working with radiation and not told how dangerous it was.
Exactly. In Japan, is it Miyamoto in Japan, where the entire town got like mercury poisoning because of their industry.
Oh, I recently listened to a podcast about that, but I can't remember the name of it.
I think it's Miyamoto.
There's been a couple
Yeah, yeah.
where they've just completely fucked up a river and killed
But
it.
Venusville is basically there, right?
Yeah,
Because even the kid, that's like the next generation is also kind of screwed. So it's a because Verhoeven does make notable social commentary in all of his films while he's going over the top with sex and violence.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, like, quite frankly, charging the people for oxygen is not that different to charging them for medical care.
Yeah, really. In Japan, I pay a little bit, but it's mostly covered here. It's nice. America, not so much. England, you can go break your nose and get it fixed up. I guess that's nice.
For now.
For now, yeah.
Well, like I always tell Americans, I broke my wrist because I was drunk and I didn't pay a penny.
But would this film be worthless if it was just a dumb Schwarzenegger film without the commentary? Would it still stand as well?
Oh, I don't... Again, like, nothing is not political. Right? That doesn't exist.
Nothing is not.
If you make a piece of art, you are making a political statement.
Wait, are you saying the opposite because it's a double negative?
I'm saying everything is political.
There we go.
So nothing is not political.
Oh, okay, there.
A film like Commando is very political because it's just like, army dude's cool. Look how big a dick you've got if you're in the army. Right? So if he tried to make this film without making these political statements, he'd just make different political statements,
Right.
which would be less good. So this film would be worse if he wasn't putting his message in there.
So it's like Verhoeven's like, I'm going to give you red-blooded Americans what you want. Also have something to say.
Well, yeah, RoboCop is very explicitly that.
Yeah.
The whole film is just a pastiche of America.
Well, that's my point. Even Showgirls is, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't seen Basic Instinct, but I'm assuming it's good because the four surrounding it are. And it has a reputation for being good.
Okay.
The other four, yes, they're among my favorite films. So I need to watch that one.
That's kind of interesting that you did your whole that's a perfect 5 films thing. You haven't even seen one of them.
Yeah, it just occurred to me. I've seen bits.
Poser.
I've seen bits and pieces. I've seen The Crotch.
Well, you have gone on record on this podcast many times saying how much you love 70s Bush. So.
But I have not. I don't think I've sat down and watched that one from start to finish. Hey, guess I need to.
Same.
I'm going to give Verhoeven the benefit of the doubt anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be doing that one on this podcast. But Showgirls, I'm going to hold out hope for.
But generally, when you get into Paul Verhoeven's politics, I pretty much agree with everything he has to say.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's like, here's big dumb America for you, just taken to ridiculous extremes, like Flash Gordon.
Right.
Except with more blood.
Well, or like Independence Day.
Yeah, Roland Emmerich, I feel, is more of the.
I don't think Roland Emmerich is as good at it as Paul
He's like
but
the-
I think he is taking the piss a little bit.
He's the chewable tablet version.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
your
yeah.
kids.
He's the like White House dinner playful ribbing jokes about America, whereas this is the like,
Verhoeven goes for the jugular.
Yeah.
Like literally and metaphorically.
I was trying to think of someone in the media who does that, and I realized they don't exist at the moment.
There's some alternative media. So.
Yeah, the mainstream.
Right.
This guy is the Twitter feed.
My brain stopped.
Well, like I said at the start of this segment, let's get our ass to Mars.
Oh yes, Mars. Fascinating place. I assume. Yeah. What is then on Mars?
Is there life on Mars?
See that TV show, either version?
Yeah, I've watched all of the British version.
Okay.
It's really good.
The American one's not bad too. I mean, the British one's better, but
Yeah.
the American one's actually didn't like screw it up. Right.
I watched it back when I was interested in being a police officer. My politics have done a big 180 since then. I wonder if I would still enjoy that show as much. Because a lot of the appeal is, oh, here's a guy from the 70s with back when the cops would just beat you up. But then there's also the main character you're meant to identify with who's like a bit more like liberal, but he's still a fucking cop.
Yeah, you know how I prepared for my Schwarzenegger reading of the plot?
How?
I put on the on YouTube where they put all the McBain
All the
clips
McBains
from The
together,
Simpsons
yeah.
into like a movie.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
My favorite is when he busts out of the ice sculpture.
Nice to see you. See, I keep thinking that's from Batman and Robin, right? Like,
But it's barely the size of like one of his limbs. It's like his arm just out the sides. I love it.
but yeah. If you want to do a real Schwarzenegger impression, not a real one, but if you want to do it effectively, go for McBain.
Yeah. Everyone thinks they can do a good Schwarzenegger, but they can just do a McBain.
But it's so fun to do McBain.
Yep.
Where were we? Politics, life on Mars. Okay, so the cops here on Mars. Is that how you want to get your ass with the cops on Mars, the fuzz? I guess it's more of a secret service.
If they make a new planet, let's not put cops on it. It's the first thing we do, for fuck's sake.
Well, this has a private security force,
Yes.
which is kind of
And the
worse.
police, Same thing.
Okay, yeah. Well, I know in America, a lot of prisons are actually privatized. They just didn't bother to really, advertise that.
Oh yeah, big time. Everyone knows that. It's all run for profit, the whole system.
Well, they didn't notice until it was like already in place, right?
Right,
Which
right.
I guess is why people are protesting now.
Yeah, system's fucked. Well, yeah, maybe that's why, the Martians are all dead, because they also
It was extra fucked
it.
on Mars, right? Because it was screwed from the start.
Right.
I guess Ronnie Cox Cohagen, did he establish this colony? Is he Elon Musk?
I was about to mention Elon Musk, 'cause if we let a fucking capitalist go and start our Mars colony, this is what we'll get.
Would
He's
it-
already talked about indentured servants.
Wow.
He's like, well, I think everyone should have the opportunity to go to Mars, even not the super rich. Like, we could loan them the money. And then someone replies like, oh, and they could pay it off when they get there. And he's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, you're talking about slaves. You want to take slaves to Mars, you maniac.
Do you want to be Elon Musk's bitch?
I want to meet Elon Musk in a steel cage. I'll take him and Jeff Bezos. Tag team. Fuck it.
So what if it were a government crew making it over? Is that better?
That's which government? It was one of the nice European ones, yeah.
No, I'm gonna go China at this point. I think
Fuck it, yeah.
the U.S. might have until recently might have still had a chance of that, but they're kind of crapping their pants
Are you
too hard.
shitting on Space Force, Matt?
Sorry, Steve Carell's face just popped in my head. I haven't seen the show,
Me either.
but yeah, who should? I mean, can an enlightened if you're going to go en masse to a new place, can you have enlightened minds take you there?
Not yet.
How does that happen? How do we get to Mars and make it like?
We have to fix Earth first.
Yeah.
Right. Christ, get rid of... Burn it all down, start again. Viva la revolution.
So, do you think we know more about Mars? What's on Mars now?
What, you think we as a species know more than what we as the public know?
I don't know. I'm just this movie definitely puts in the. They don't really harp on it too hard, but it is the climax, right, where the aliens have
Yeah.
in there. But then in real life, maybe there's a face, so maybe it's like people have been there before, and then we all our heads exploded or an asteroid hit or something.
I don't know. I mean, I would love it if we found evidence of life on Mars, whether it's bacterial or a civilization. I'm not currently of the belief that there is any. Maybe that's because the proof I haven't been seen because it's been hidden from me. Maybe it's because we haven't found any.
Well, I guess the things to look at, because the names are so fantastic, there's areas of Mars that honestly, I'm not, I'd find the pyramids in the face to be more of a compelling argument, but there are places that, it looks like a city grid. And they have fantastic names like Galaxia Chaos and Atlantis Chaos.
Nice.
Those are actual scientific names for areas on Mars.
Well, yeah, because the people who go into Mars research are dorks like us who grew up watching sci-fi. But it's worth remembering back when War of the Worlds was written, everyone was 100% convinced that there were canals on Mars, which were just ravines.
Actually, I want to get into that bit, which is that's Percival Lowell,
Right.
who thought he was seeing canals on Mars. His vision, or his assumptions, basically started up Sci-Fi. That's where John Carter's kind of based from those, all the way to Flash Gordon, takes a trip to Mars. Even now, I mean, we said, is Flash Gordon viable today? Not so much, but is Percival Lowell's vision of Sci-Fi still valid today? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, everyone still wants there to be canals on Mars,
See, what I love, and which, because it doesn't seem to be the case, sci-fi doesn't do it anymore, is just the idea of if we developed and the whole time there had been another species developing at about the same pace on another planet. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Like we've just been communicating with them the whole time. That'd be really fun.
Or what if we are a civilization with amnesia and we've simply been there before and the planet has been taken out? One interesting thing when you look at Mars.
What if we get warp travel and then the Vulcans find us and they're like, oh fuck, these guys cannot have that shit. Just take it away.
There is evidence.
That's happened like every 50,000 years. We try and enter the galactic community and they're just like, fuck no.
Nah, come back next week. But the geography of Mars is interesting because it's basically like half of its crust has been ripped off. Like half of it's pretty smoothed out, and the other half actually has like mountains and stuff. And the idea is possibly as recently as a couple thousand years or a few million years ago, it got a notable comet hit, which would screw up a planet, shift around its crust, all that stuff.
It got glassed by the Covenant.
We have meteorites on Earth that came from Mars. How do they get knocked off Mars? Well, a comet strike would do that. And if some of these things were around before the comet strike, it's interesting.
I think I saw Mars the other night.
Yeah, it's out there most nights.
Yeah. It was the night I had to sleep in that train station. It was just by the moon. There's like a very red one. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Mars. That's
Yeah,
cool.
could have been Jupiter, but I don't know. But yeah, you know, the sky clock. Follow the sky clock, man. The real clocks, they're just trying to make you think things. I saw an article this morning. I think I told you before the Aboriginal or the Julie encounters. This is actually 2012. Right?
Yeah.
I saw an article actually sitting in your apartment before he came out here that someone has said that, oh, actually June 21st is the Mayan end, so let's see what happens next week.
Cool beans. Oh, for fuck's sake, I got a date on the 22nd.
Japan time, you might be okay. That was an American article.
True.
You can have your date. You can have a big explosive ending.
I mean, it's
to your
right. I've got a
date.
date with a different girl on the 21st. I don't think either of them listen to this. Matt,
Dick.
Thanks. Did you get round to reading We Can Remember It For You Wholesale?
It's on this iPad I'm recording on, but actually I finished reading The Mars Mystery by Graham Hancock instead, which was also relevant. That's where I learned that half of Mars' crust had been blown off.
Yeah. You sent me a podcast from the guests that we were hoping to get for this podcast. And they're talking about how like they think parts of Mars were nuked, parts of it have been like deliberately manscaped or whatever. So
Right. But anyway, I Philip K. Dick. That's why I'm screaming dick at you. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we got some. I love lots of films based on Philip K. Dick stories.
They make great sci-fi.
I don't like most of his writing though.
Yeah.
A couple of his lower key stuff I like, but he just gets too trippy too quickly in most of his stuff.
Yeah, we had this conversation off mic where I've actually only read The Man in the High Castle.
Right.
Which I did enjoy. It was fine. It did feel pulpy, but it was a fun read. But I haven't gotten to the stories. I just forgot. I did load it here, but forgot.
I read Second Variety, which kind of inspired Terminator.
Oh, another one. Okay.
We did talk about it in the Terminator episode.
Okay, I thought it was Harlan Ellison stuff. But
The Harlan Ellison stuff is the one that they managed to sue for, but the Philip K. Dick one is actually a way better fit.
Right. Well, Philip K. Dick died too soon to sue anyone.
And also, I don't think he would have given a shit.
Yeah. Apparently, he did get a look at Blade Runner before he passed on, but
cool.
he did not get to see this
So
one.
yeah, I tried to read Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and it's just way too long and boring. And this one, at least, is a short story, but like it's 10 times trippier than the film. At the end, it turns out that a race of aliens the size of mice invaded Earth, but he treated them with kindness, so they decided not to destroy the Earth for as long as he lives. And then he wiped his memory of that, but then he tried to get that implanted as a dream, and they found out that was real as well as the secret agent stuff.
What?
Yeah. So Verhoeven took like the interesting idea, oh, what if they can implant dreams, but it turns out it's real? and just got rid of the really trippy nonsense.
I guess another writer that's I don't think they made so many movies, but William Gibson.
I definitely heard the name.
Yeah, he also gets real trippy real fast.
Okay.
So he's kind of the cyberpunk dude, right?
Okay, although while we're on adaptations, I still have not seen the remake of this film.
I have. I do like it. It's not a bad film. The fact that it's called a remake is the worst thing about it.
Right.
I mean, they don't go to Mars, right? I mean, which is not in the Dick story, right?
No.
The Dick story. But yeah, the Mars is this movie. So it makes sense that the remake would not include it, but it's just... I don't know. I mean, can you do the same implanting thing and then people would say it's a ripoff of Total Recall. So I don't know.
What if they just called it We Can Remember It For You or something and said, oh, it's an adaptation of the book?
Okay, that would have been a good recall.
Yeah.
So it's nowhere near as good as this movie, but it's
Well, it's got... I mean, I like Colin Farrell. He's not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
right. Exactly. He is an everyman, more or
Yeah.
less. A handsome one, but I do like that movie. It definitely is. I mean, this movie is just this 1990s Total Recall is simply. It's like it's a sculpture in the Pop Culture Museum, you know.
Yeah.
And Philip K. Dick's original story is not. It's a
No.
footnote, as in it was based on this kind of sort of.
Yeah. It's famous for this happening. It's like the line in, do you know Talladega Nights?
Oh yeah.
Chip, the only thing you ever did was make a hot daughter.
There we go. Philip K. Dick made some hot daughters.
Yep.
In the form of Schwarzenegger.
So I think you pretty much answered the question, does this film stand up?
Do you not find me pretty?
Don't you like me, baby? I'm trying to remember a line from Junior now, because there are some lines which are basically that.
Oh, okay. Does my butt look big?
He's definitely saying that, like, look at my breasts. Don't you love me anymore?
I don't know. Maybe I'd like Junior better now, because I saw it when I was like 12, right? So.
Right, I think you probably would get a kick out of it.
So I just went straight to the yes. This film absolutely holds up. The remake, it's a nice film to throw in some evening. I've actually watched the remake like twice.
Okay.
I think I saw it in the theater. I think I watched it twice. No, maybe I didn't see it in the theater. I think I watched it twice on my Blu-ray.
Okay.
But I watched it twice, not once. So
Right.
It's not bad. It has cool stuff. It's very cool. It has the elevator through like the center of the planet.
Right.
That was like the replacement for Mars, I guess.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. It's just when you're trying, it's like, you know, if you want to like take the Mona Lisa and like trying to like reframe it, people are going to notice.
Yep.
Did I tell the Mona Lisa story?
No?
Oh, okay. I went on a high school trip, orchestra trip, right?
Yeah.
And we were at the Louvre, and it was a crowded room, Mona Lisa. It's a small painting, right? And then the next day I'm talking to a girl, and I was like, oh, yeah, you didn't go see it? No, I didn't want to push my way through. It's just a copy, you know? It's like, that wasn't a copy.
You didn't know it was the real Mona Lisa?
Correct. Because the next day we were in, it was like Monet's old house.
Right.
Where most of the paintings there were copies, just
Right.
because the real ones were in like, you know, museums. They said, yeah, that's why I didn't go see a Mona Lisa. It's just a copy. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
I went and saw a Monet exhibit in Nagoya. I like Monet.
Yeah, I like Monet. I enjoyed-
Impressionist stuff is generally my favorite thing.
When you go to the house, it's cool because you used to look around the garden. Oh, that's actually looks like a Monet painting. It's probably because it is. So.
Right. That's why I like Skyward Sword, because it all looks like Monet paintings.
So is Total Recall more of a Monet or a Da Vinci?
It's a Monet. It's a bit, because like we were saying, it has like a weird style and like a overly, it is like an impressionist version of sci-fi.
Yeah.
It doesn't look real, it looks hyper real, it looks ridiculous.
It looks like the pieces put together and the seams are showing, but it doesn't. It's like a Transformer toy, you know. The seams are all showing,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
Like, for me, this isn't, like, there are some Schwarzenegger films which I will watch like 3 times in the same week. This isn't quite one of them. This is one that I'll watch every now and then because it's like an interesting, smart film.
This would be
But
my
it's
most
not
often
like-
Schwarzenegger, by the way.
Right. Whereas for me, I'd rather just watch like Commando and Terminator because I just want to kill him see him kill dudes for 90 minutes, right?
No, I want to get my mind bended too.
Right, but
That's why I like
once
6
it
Day.
once it bends your mind, it can't then bend your mind again the next day and the day after that. Like, whereas it's still fun to see Schwarzenegger cut a dude's head in half.
You get both in here.
I guess movies have fucked me up.
Looks like you have a splitting headache.
Stick around.
I think there's quotables in Total Recall.
Oh, there definitely are. Consider that a divorce. That's always been my favorite.
Yeah. We just
You are not you. You're me.
You think this is a real Rick? I'm Rick.
Oh, that's my
Real quick.
Right. That whole hologram bit is great. It is.
I like how basically in 80s films, it's like you find the thing and it's used like once later. The hologram's useful a few times. I like that. It's like, oh, he's got the toy, he uses it a few times. It's not just like one and done.
Yeah, it was cool. I do really like this film. It's just, it's too good. I want bad Schwarzenegger films.
Yeah, but again, I see Verhoeven makes fantastic films with all the accompaniments of a terrible film.
Yeah.
But a terrible film that you absolutely want to watch as well.
But then also, if I'm going to go Verhoeven, I'd probably go RoboCop over this.
I think I've actually watched RoboCop less than this in Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers I've not seen since it came out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm looking forward to doing that one for the pod.
I like Starship Troopers.
Also, I want to read the book for that one.
Yeah, I was just thinking if I want to read it. It's a long book.
It's also, the book is not parody.
Right.
So I'm really interested to see how he's done that.
But he wrote Stranger in a Strange Land too, right?
This is all like third-hand information. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out when we do that episode.
Yeah. So.
Layers.
As for Total Recall, if you don't like it, it's because it offends you.
What?
Because it's got all the violence and stuff.
Oh, I
and
guess.
3 titties. If you're offended by that, you won't like it.
You sound like every freaking white comedian right now. You can't admit they're not funny. People must be offended.
I love this movie.
It's like, if you don't like it, it's because you're offended.
With Total Recall, sure.
People can just not like it.
No, you have to like Total Recall. Arnold will rip your arms off if you don't like Total Recall.
Okay, buddy.
Come on, that's a convincing argument.
I want to be manhandled by Schwarzenegger.
And how is Schwarzenegger going to contact you if he decides to manhandle you?
You can find the podcast on Twitter at MLSFS42. We assume people are listening to this, but we haven't really checked. So, if you're listening to this podcast, drop us a message. Just go on the Twitter and be like, yeah, I listen. It's all right. You should change this. Or don't give us any criticisms if you like it.
Pokemon is being done at Luclos PKMN.
Yes.
I got it. Okay, good. So if Schwarzenegger wants to manhandle Pokemon, he can go there.
There's definitely a fan out of that online. And if you've liked the music you've heard during this podcast, you can find that stuff at rovingsagemedia.bandcamp.com.
But only if you're a manhandling Schwarzenegger.
I mean, other people can listen to Matt's music, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, please do notice us, senpai.
Okay.
Until next time, you can get your asses to Mars.
See, I thought you were going to be like, see you at the party, podcast listener.
All that.
Okay.